Hello and welcome to episode 347 of 10 o'clock. I am MDRLOz. This is Xeno and we will move our microphones closer to our mouths because I'm sure Xeno will moan about that like he loves to do. We are going to talk to you about the loveliness that is Warframe. I've said the word loveliness, that's your word, and I hate myself now.
I don't know why you stressed 40 when I literally said 247.
I wasn't taking a dig at you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's like, for everyone else's benefit, literally I just said that this was number 247. Because everyone knows, I don't know what number episode we're on!
It was partly because half my brain skipped a beat between 300 and I was like,
Shit.
That was a bit. I was about to make it wrong. So something like 27 or something. So yeah, that's where I was making a mistake.
Okay.
So yes, 347 at 10 o'clock. Hello everyone. We are here to about Warframe, and we have a lot to do today. So Xeno has told me we need to be on topic and no dithering. So I've got my clock up, and we're going to get to it. So what do we start with, Xeno?
Emblems.
Yeah.
So they're on the screen. A little bit of sad news to stem off of this, but I'm just going to give it to you, right?
No, I want to say mine as well. I like what yours is, but I think that could be done a lot better.
Well, part of the problem I have with mine, so for everyone else's benefit, mine is Hun Hao, right?
Why is this sad news, by the way?
Giveaways.
Oh, I thought you meant that you losing in a
No.
sad news.
No, but the problem I have with this Hun Hao is it's too blurry.
Yeah, exactly. I think you could make a really nice Hun Hao glyph, and this one I can't do it. Yeah, I can't get it. Yeah. But he is a huge thing. I don't think you appreciate how huge he is.
No,
mine's
I know
pretty
he's massive.
I like mine. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
EOC. I think that's in the Halo font.
Yes, I'm very sure yours is the Halo font.
That's cool. That's pretty nice. It works. You know, games coming together. It's good. Yep. Right, let's move on.
Right. So we're going to go straight into the Dojo Dusting, where there is a small, brief announcement. We are no longer partners with DE. So
everyone isn't a partner with DE. That's just one.
Fair point. Okay, so the Warframe Partner Program has been shut down, which means no one is a Warframe partner. They are in the process of setting up a content. Sorry, what is it? No, is it the partner? No, the creator program. That was it. I was trying to remember what word did they replace. So yeah, they are in the process of setting up a creator program, which is due to start in later this summer.
Okay.
And just to hit the nail straight on the head, yes, we will be applying for it. The sad news is we can no longer offer people platinum as a giveaway prize. But what I did do, because the program ended today, Friday the 19th of June, I did call the giveaway early. So really sorry for everyone that, votes on last week's emblems or the week before. I don't know. The emblems this week. Unfortunately, you are no longer eligible for the platinum, but I did close it early just so that we could get that extra bout of platinum out there.
Right, but so there is no link in the description or
no. I think it's. I don't know. A part of me is like,
remove if you're not running the competition, don't trick people with the link.
Okay, cool. So the link's gone, right? Okay.
And put an explanation saying closed for foreseeable future due to partner program closing. There we go. So everyone's aware of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if we get back in the partner program, maybe that is something they still offer. We might be able to offer that in the future. But
I did ask them, will the creator program still offer the free platinum? And the initial response was yes. You're doing that thing with your teeth again.
Oh, it just annoys me because I've had to have white screens up and it reflects one tooth more than the other because my teeth are acid stitched and I hate it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we are going to apply. There is no guarantee that we are going to be getting in. But I think that both of us can appreciate why they've shut down Well,
I mean, look at the platinum giveaway. I mean, that's something that we've been doing for how many years? I think this is nearly started.
So I'm going to admit, it turns out I hadn't sent them 8 months worth of winners. That face. But they've got all the winners now. And what? What? It's not easy to remember this stuff. I've got a lot going on. Hey, those people are still winning their platinum, right? So the people that have entered and things, so some Switch players are making out like a bandit, right? Some Xbox players are also making out like a bandit. You know, everyone's still getting their fair chance after they voted. Everyone knows I'm shit at this. Why don't you take this off me? I hope people are actually looking at your facial expressions.
Pure bewilderment. I mean, surely.
What?
When you swap the glyphs round for the new competition, you just
copy paste. I wish.
Email send.
I wish it was like that.
What do you contact them on? Email or Discord?
I have to do it on email. I wish I could do it on Discord, but I'm not allowed to. Right?
It'd be easier by email. It's impersonal. It's just you throw it into a machine. It's just
right. No, but the problem is, like, typically I remember to update the glyph thing, update the giveaway, like while I'm in the middle of work or days later. Right? It's not part of the upload process. Hell, it's taken me so long to actually get the Patreon question posts out on the same day as the damn episode.
I mean, I know we're short on time, but I'm surprised using your amazing wizardry that you are of wizardness. Mm-hmm. You didn't just like create some sort of magic button that you click and it picks the winner, puts it into an email, and sends it off to this address.
Right. So I've tried to do this in the past, right? But then it just spams the email address. I was like, no, just do it once. No, calm down. Just do it once. No. You're not doing it. Once, right? Stop sending 50 fucking emails. I couldn't get it to work.
Making a button to copy a thing and paste an email.
No,
couldn't get that to work.
Yeah, I couldn't get it to work because
did you maybe overcomplicate it? Did you maybe overcomplicate it and just didn't go for a more simpler option? How about a box that you have to copy the address in, then you just copy that?
Yeah, no, I do that and it just fucking.
Dude, I know the things you work on, and they're amazing, and yet you can't make it copy a line and send an email.
That's
makes
because
me worried,
I do that
makes
from
me very worried.
Scratch, right? Anything that I do from scratch, I have full control over. Like is
but you are making it from
web
scratch.
Of huh? No.
You are making
no, because it's all in the Google Sheets stuff.
Right.
All the picking and everything's in the Google Sheets.
Right. So take that step out and just make the picker give you the name.
Do you know how much? Yeah, well, it does that already. I just have to
right, and then you copy paste the name and put it into something you made from scratch. Job done, saves you effort. Doesn't mean that some poor person at DE, some poor person in no, it's so much quicker. It would mean you remember it. That's the thing. If you built a thing, you'd use it more. And now some poor person at DE is there's two people at DE. There's one poor person who's now having to deposit 150 platinum into what? 16 people's accounts
times 4. Different platforms. Hey. I spoke to them about this. They said they want it this way as long as it was pure text. So it's a copy-paste job. So they don't have to worry about typing it in by hand. So
yeah, I know, but it's still whatever. And then there's another person, probably Taylor, who's probably going, Xeno's given us 8 months in one go because he's a laser bass.
Yeah.
With our iron fist. Probably like that. Yep.
Hey, do you reckon this is why they're shutting down the partner program?
Yes. we've solved it. It's because they know. They're like, oh God, if we don't shut it down now, he's going to give us like a year's worth and it's going to take us all day. Kill the whole thing right now.
Yeah.
Just shut it down. It was a big mistake giving Xeno any responsibility for emailing us Plat. Ridiculous. Anyway, move on. Right.
Hey, I used to be able to just send them lists in Discord, and it was a dream. It was so easy to do it that way.
Can't you just send them a list in an email?
Yeah, but I have to do that. Dude, I don't fucking do emails. How often do you send emails?
Daily.
Work related?
Yes.
Not work related?
Mm,
Never?
very now and then. Maybe once a week.
Yeah.
Depends
Really?
I'm
That
talking to.
often?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it's just basic, man. You worry me.
Fine. Loz has now nominated himself to actually do it from now on.
What? Yeah, sure. Sure. If you yeah, no, fine. When it starts up again, no, I'll take that. I'll take it. I'll take it.
If it starts
When
up
it starts up again,
if
we sort me out with if it starts. Oh, it's a good point. If it starts up and if we get in the program,
yeah,
sort me out with a Google Page thing, and I'll add it to my list of responsibilities to email out.
I think
and
you
that
already
way
have
it won't
access
be
to it.
Yeah, but we'll sit down and just show me because I'm not no clever clogs on this thing, even though I can figure out how to send an email.
Loz, I
So for
dumb
2
proof
weeks.
this stuff. You know I dumb proof it.
8 months.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Pretty dumb.
that's right in the emails. Anyway, right.
Move on. I'm mad.
So we can appreciate why they've shut down the partner program.
Xeno broke it. Right. Moving on. Right. What's next?
Yes, we're going to apply, so on and so forth. The other side of the Dojo Dusting is we've touted about doing this whole segmented chapter bar thing for YouTube, and it's not. Hey!
It's not my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault.
Okay.
It's my fault.
Yeah,
my fault.
Fucking
give
me grief.
No, I'm telling you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we copied. I'll say so I gave a Xeno video to look on it, and he was like, "Oh, thanks, Loz. Found me a video." And we're like, "Yeah, let's sort this out. Put it in the things," and then it didn't work. And we're like, "Oh, it's not working. Why is it not working?" And it's like, oh, "Okay." And Xeno, when he's setting up, went, "Loz, shall I put an intro 000?" I'm like, "Put an intro 000. People will know where the start is. Just leave that one out. Leave that one out." We go look at the actual official YouTube explanation of how to put this thing in.
Sorry,
you must start with intro 0000 for it to pick up. I'm like, oh god. So it was my fault. It's not picked up. We've now stuck that in.
How did you find that video, by the way? Because like it's not been sent to me at all in any capacity.
What the?
How to add it in?
Oh, it was a YouTube answers page I've never seen before,
okay.
and somebody was like, "How does this work? It's not working. Here's how to make this work." It's like, oh great.
Yeah.
When did it come out exactly? Actually.
Recently,
but anyway, so it's my fault. We've now stuck that in. It's now working. There we go. We have our cool chapters.
Yeah.
When was this up? June?
It's really recent.
Well, they only just put up the video explaining how to definitely do it June 16th, so we wouldn't have had it for last week's anyway. There we go.
Oh, literally Tuesday.
Yes, the video came out explaining how to do it on Tuesday. Wow.
Good job, YouTube. Right. So yeah, we're doing that.
Okay, but it's working now, and I've got a clock and everything. And
cool. Right now, moving on to graphs. Yes, graphs. No. This is not that part. Right. So
I've realised something.
What?
My timer starts when you tell me to push the thing.
Yeah.
But then you've got the intro, haven't you?
Yeah. It's like a few seconds out. It's not a big deal.
No, but you. Okay, fine.
Right.
Fine.
Okay, so the first thing is graphs. So first graph. Wow, that's dropping off the top of my head. So first first question from last week is: should there be a playable Tenno extremist group?
Did we mean to say playable?
Yeah, I wanted it playable. Yeah,
because that's a really weird way of wording it. Shouldn't that be? Should you be able to join a group of extremist Tenno? Because you are a playable Tenno. By saying a playable group, you mean that there's another group that you can play as in addition to your Tenno.
Should there be a playable group of extremist Tenno?
Like it's saying, should there be playable Grineer in PvP?
Yeah,
because I'd kind of like that if we could play Grineer vs Corpus.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Again, you know how I was complaining about? Like,
didn't ask me this week. You didn't ask me this week.
Because you weren't online. Did I call you? I swear I called you, and you didn't answer the phone on Monday
until you gave up.
Yes, because it had like 20 minutes to go out,
and it can't be edited afterwards. No. Anyway, move on. So let's look at the questions. So we had
52 people respond. Yay, 52 people. 52. 50. Loz doesn't care. 29%. I didn't get to the rounding thing. Sorry. 29% said that they didn't care. 17% said no, and 54% said yes.
So, okay, so let's try and interpret this. So I think that means should you be able to play as a group of Extremist Tenno?
Yes.
Or as an Extremist Tenno? It's obviously, I think, because if our word this is, should we have the ability for players to join sort of almost Tenno factions?
Yeah, so
Which-
the
It's
idea.
terribly worded.
So I'm sorry, it was hard.
Because I think we were asking. Actually,
I was trying to fix a server.
I think we were it doesn't matter if it goes out late if it's better. So I think we were actually asking, should there be a group of Extremist Tenno in the game, as in NPCs?
No,
so that,
no. So this was
no, but you then can
side.
do things for them.
So the idea was, it was another syndicate. There was another.
Exactly, that's what I mean. There's a syndicate of a group of Extremist Tenno NPCs that you could then do stuff for that would be extreme and different.
No,
to what everyone else
I was seeing the syndicate not as Tenno. It was like a radical group of corpus that were out to like kill everything. You know,
let's just start the Red Veil then.
No. Yeah,
you just corpified the Red Veil.
Yeah. So yeah, I've corpified the Red Veil, but they'll even go to extremes that the Red Veil won't cross. But no, the whole point is that there were other species within the within the origin system, not specifically Tenno, right? I think the thing you're getting crossed with is that we wanted more Tenno to appear in quests and things.
That's a state. That's one of my crusades.
But we thought the idea could be that they were introduced as
a syndicate
NPCs.
That's what I said. Anyway, let's move on to the next question.
All right. Number 2. Do you care about how the universe interacts with your Tenno? Right. Again, 52 people responded. 10% said no. 90% said yes. So this, I honestly found this quite surprising. I would have thought that it would have been like more balanced, but
no. This is now a personal relationship between you and the game, where you're experiencing that your actions are reflected and responded to in the environment, and at the moment they're just not. Because my favorite one is the new Loka quest line when that came in. It doesn't matter if they do retroactively. Just so I know it's there, that'd be great. When I approached the new Loka person who could have last mission sent a kill squad after me out of the 17th kill squad or 700th kill squad they've sent at me, I walk up to them and they just immediately ask me for help, and I'm like, "You hate me."
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a gamified disconnect, because also we're surrounded by other Warframes, which again, as I said for quests, do a bad job of saying, "Are you the only Tenno awake, or are there others?" Because all the quest lines show you only as one. So if it makes sense if there's just you, because then they've got no one else to turn to. But then this person's saying to you this in the relay while surrounded by 10 other Tenno in pink flashy colors and yellows and massive one spot, all different types of Tenno. So it's like, why are they being so nice to you? It's not that they've. If you were the only one, that makes sense why they're being nice. But there's literally, they could just reach out and grab another Warframe with, in theory, another Tenno and be like, "I'm not talking to you. I'm going to get them to do it."
Yeah.
So it's a terrible disconnect. It really would have taken them 3 extra lines of dialogue added onto the quest with a check, just like, are you loved by them, neutral by them, hated by them? 3 lines of dialogue that start the quest line off, and then the rest of the quest, the entire rest of the quest could be exactly the same, but at least you would then appreciate that the universe is slightly understanding, you are having an impact. And so that's why you can see 90% of people say, yes, we want this. So
I think one thing I would really like is at least a clarification for the sacrifice, where it's played in the narrative that there is only one Umbra, right? There's only one Excalibur Umbra. And then when you reconstruct Excalibur Umbra, there is still only one Excalibur Umbra. So to explain...
Oh, couldn't you make another Umbra? Because you've just built an Umbra.
You can't, can
you? Does it have a soul? I mean...
Well, no. So my point is, why not have a line at the end of the quest, which is basically orders saying, I have disseminated the schematic, the blueprint, or whatever for Umbra to the Tenno network, right? And then that would explain why you see other Excalibur Umbra.
Or well, I mean a little bit more than that. We need to say like I've neutralized the personality. You see, the reason why they won't do that is because it would nail them down too much. I mean, none of the manufacturing requirements for Umbra are unique. It's literally just an Orokin cell, 60 Kuva, 1,200 nanospores, alloy, 1,600 alloy plate, and 10,000 credits. Like none of that is unique to building Umbra. Like if one of those components were like Umbra's helmet that you took from the garden
No,
that
but
you found his
you
bits
did
in.
have to scan the various different parts.
Yeah, you scanned them,
blueprint.
but when you actually manufacture this thing off the scan, it's just off of base raw materials I could get almost anywhere in the solar system.
I get where you're coming from.
There's nothing special. If there was a unique component that you were that because I'm with you, but if it was like you had to add this extra component in because there was something unique about Umbra, but you're right, because there's nothing unique about the build. Order should say at the end, I've disseminated the Umbral plan schematic throughout the system for other Tenno to build. A, that would acknowledge that there are other Tenno and Warframe out there, and also B, it would establish exactly how mass production of Warframes work. And those 2 points they've never addressed. They just do not want, and it's a gamified disconnect that they're just never going to address. I don't think it's too much effort. Anyway,
just one line of dialogue. Cool. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
But they need to remember. See, this thing, they need to remember that going forward, and they don't. I don't think they want to. I think they'd rather just be like, "Oh, it's vague and mysterious," and just like, "we'll just tell single player story in our multiplayer game like we're doing." So anyway, next one, which is kind of rolls on from the previous one.
Yeah. Should DE invest in tailored audio dialogue to be better suited for your Tenno's reputation? Right. So 52 people replied. 15% said that they didn't care. 4% said no, and 81% said yes. Right. So I want to go back to the previous card. Was that 2?
Because the previous one we just said about the universe interacts with your Tenno. That's just could be anything. I mean, more than just audio lines. It could be like the price of things from vendors based on your reputation.
The ambient one is the 4th question. Right.
We haven't got on to that yet.
No, we haven't gone on to that yet. But it's interesting.
You said the previous question.
Yeah, the previous. Yeah, I know. So the previous question is: do you want the universe to interact more with your Tenno? And then we're asking the question: should DE invest in tailored dialogue specific to your reputations? Right. And it's interesting that 10% of,
as I was saying, that's because the universe interaction with Tenno is clearly more than just audio lines. That could be things along the lines of the cost of things based on reputations. The access of things based on reputations, not specific audio lines.
Not just audio.
Not just audio.
Right.
Whereas now we're specifically asking audio. It's why these 2 questions, which you've done a very good job on these questions, you've asked a general one and then a specific one. So you've done very good on these 2 questions. Just give yourself a gold star for those.
No. Right.
You should.
I'll have a cookie. Right. But then let's jump to the 4th.
I want a cookie.
The 4th one. The 4th one is: would you like to see more ambient interactions with your Tenno based on your reputations? And I use an example at the end of the question, which is like how the Myconians interact with you during the Glass Gambit, where like there's is that a Tenno? You know, do you remember that? Yeah. So like that's.
And then you could also tell them that like because they do that in World of Warcraft for certain parts of things, like as you go through like mobs. I think like when you do the Death Knight quest line, and you go to Ogmar Stormwind. At first, people are, like spitting at you and chucking rubbish at you and things, but then later on, you know, they're much more appreciative. So you could do other things like that. Like obviously it's like it's a Tenno, and like it's that Tenno, or like. It's the murderer, you know. I don't know. It's still things.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to see how people seem to be more on board with the ambient stuff than the custom dialogue for quests.
I think based on your sample size, that's a statistical insignificance.
True. Anyway, right, so that's it for the cards. Shall we now move on to the Patreon questions, which is when you put the time down?
I changed it actually. I'm gonna I think because we'll add in Patreon questions. We'll separate that.
Okay.
I want multiple timestamps for people to find the things they want.
Oh wow,
we got them working now.
So now I'm allowed to have the detailed, granular timestamps that I wanted.
Yes.
Okay,
now that we figure out how they work. Or do you want to add more? If you want to type in more while we're there, like all of them, go for it. I'll start reading through these. I just put that one there, so I've got it adapted as you want. So first one is from Joshua Minnick. I probably got that wrong, but I can't attempt it because we've got to be quick today. If the war ended, what would your Tenno do after it?
Teach.
Joshua, I think you've forgotten that it is the 41st millennium, and there is only war.
Next question.
The war never ends.
Yeah. Well, apparently the new war doesn't start, so.
Zinger. Anyway, moving on. What if there was a contest for arbiters or 10 o'clock or both? See who among you dedicated followers would be able to write the best quest for the arbiters of Hexus, and we could see if DE wanted it. This is mainly just me kind of wanting to write a quest for the arbiters, and I dare anyone else who can write one to do so with me. I remember, don't know if you remember, years ago, we actually had a fan story competition, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
My favorite one, the one that sticks in my mind, was one from the perspective of not a roller, but the bomb. I can't remember what they're called. Seeker Mine.
Yeah.
I think it was. It was brilliant. That was so good. Anyway, moving on. Nick Evans also says, first thing from Nick Evans. If there were ever a time when Xeno was unable to record 10 o'clock, but deemed it worth recording anyway, who would Loz pick as his co-host for that episode? Well, I probably wouldn't get to pick because Xeno would pick and tell me what to do. And I know he would probably start with quick, get Joey, and then when Joey didn't go, he'd go, oh no, I don't know, find Crash, and then probably after that he'd be like, grab Tobiah. No, maybe Tobiah. Sorry, after Joey, I think maybe, and then Crash. On who else might he have? Might end up with Michelle. I think would be an option. On his web of influence. And then basically, if I wanted, actually, I instead of racking my brain, what I could do, he would probably just, or I could just load an episode of Arbiters or the last episode of Arbiters and then see who was there and then just ask the guests and go back in time until someone said yes. That's probably what I would do if he didn't tell me though. Yeah, there you go. But it would be his first pick would probably be Joey, because I think he did actually. There was one episode when he almost didn't. Xeno, because obviously I've taken a break because I had to do it for my PhD write up, but Xeno's never missed an episode, and.
No, I think I have. It was because I was. It's because I think there was an internet connection.
You were almost.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to do it, but you did. You managed it somehow or something. There was almost, because I was going to call up Joey and we were going to see. We're going to make it a short episode. So, but no, you have never missed one. The only episode you missed in the how many years we doing this is that one first Christmas when we were like, we'll take a break for a week, and then we never have since. Anyway, moving on. Nick Evans. There are many long discussions on the forums about the problems with non-scaling damage abilities. The spectrum of views runs from simple ideas like all damage abilities should deal relevant damage. This means they all must have scaling based on enemy health, to the slightly more sensible no single ability should scale damage infinitely. Abilities should be able to scale by using them in combination with some small help from enemy level scaling. Through to uncaring views like everything's fine here, abilities don't need to do more damage than DE says. And then right on the opposite end of the spectrum, at everything else needs nerfing its damage so that the abilities are equal to them with their lower damage, and we should rework enemy scaling to the function at this lower damage spectrum. In the grand scheme of things, where do the two of you sit on the spectrum? Should all abilities that deal damage be able to scale near infinitely, or should we change the underlying system to make the game more challenging at the lower level range where ability damage would then be relevant without the buffs? Whew, massive discussion there, Nick Evans. I will step in first before Xeno gets a chance to respond. What I think the way it should be done, I understand and think it is important that there should be a percentage-based system. Either I would make it not apply to mobs until they're level like 50 or above, or maybe 100 above, or maybe it'd be a thing that would only happen in the hard mode, so it'd be separate. I can understand why, because it's like my Warframe is Ember or Frost, because they're simple, because they throw an ice ball or a fireball, and it's a simple thing. Now, they're throwing fire at the enemy, and it's only because the game is gamified that it gets to like level 300, where you throw the fireball and they just shrug it off, and you keep throwing fireballs and it's just having no effect, whatever. I think because this is where I mainly think it applies. Warframe's first abilities, I think they should always have a set thing, but if you made it throughout the game, it means that when a player plays the game at the start of the game, let's say Fireball always did 5% of damage if it hit an enemy. It only hits one enemy. 5% of the health. That's useless to a new player because they'll they'll take 20 fireballs to kill a starting enemy. This doesn't make sense. So I think what they should do is they have a set amount of damage, let's say 300 or whatever it would take to kill a level 330 Grineer Lancer in one hit, and then plus X percentage damage, which at the start isn't going to do much of a difference because you should just be one-shotting the Lancers anyway. But then when you get to the point that the percentage scaling takes over as the larger part of the damage and keeps scaling up, that starting damage is useless. But the ability will always do. You know that when you chuck it at a level 300 heavy gunner, you know it's going to take off 5% of the damage and cause a fire proc. So at least you then have a reason to go to the ability. I mean, the percentages, you can play with that. I'm just making 5% because it doesn't seem too much, but not too low at the same time. But you see what I mean? So that way, that's how the percentage should come into play. That way, the ability will then scale forever, and you know what it does at level 1,000, but it's still, you don't want to lose that 1 to 50 level grind for low-level players so that they can just one-shot things with abilities as it should be. But then, sorry to let you know, I know it's a long question, but then the other problem is with this whole thing with the damage system in the game, is there's too many sources of damage now. Originally, you just had your primary, your secondary, your melee, and that was it. So they're also in Warframe powers, four things, right? And they had to balance between them. And normally, like based on what mod had come out at the time, like if a new rare mod, like Lethal Torrent came out, it made secondaries really good. Or if a new Warframe came out with a good ability, like Nova, an explosion, that then became the top dog. And it was kind of a balance between mixing between all three things. Melee was probably always towards the bottom of the pile, but Warframe abilities sometimes were best, and sometimes the secondaries. Now we've gotten to the point where Rivens have pushed the power of weapons up ridiculous numbers. And there's already ridiculous mods as well to combine. There's a whole suite of them. Then you've got your secondaries, your melee, which are all. And melee is now very competitive, more for Warframe powers, obviously. But then you've got arc guns, you've got your Tenno, you've got your Tenno's amp, and then all these things interact with each other. The basically, it's hard to say what is the purpose of X thing at X time. I get a new gun comes out, I'm like, right, but I've got my arc gun, I've got my pistol, I've got my secondary, I've got my amp, I've got my Warframe powers. Why do I need this new gun? So it's kind of a problem that the game doesn't have, and I've said this years ago, niches for things to be used in. It just doesn't have it. So you just got all these, it doesn't matter, because there's just so many bits of damage. Yeah. Okay, then you got kit guns, you got kit Zors, you got arcanes for the amps, you got arcanes for the Zors and the kit guns, which all do ridiculous things that might be broken. It's too many sources of damage to actually know, well, what am I supposed to do in what job? It's too varied. And so you're never going to win. That's why I like my percentage damage that comes with a fixed thing to work into a scaling thing. There we go. On to Xeno. That makes sense?
No. My response is, hey, if everyone else gets it, that's fine. I don't get...
You didn't even listen.
No, I did. I don't get what the problem is, right? It's people wanting effectiveness of abilities at low levels, right?
No, high levels. High levels.
Okay, at high levels, right?
High levels. What's the point of Ember or Frost's Fireball and Ice Snowball endgame? What's the point of them?
None.
Exactly. So why even bother having them in the game? They don't need them. It's just there's no point. You have no point to push that ability. That whole power of that Warframe, there's no point in game.
I get what you're saying. What's the point of damage dealing abilities? CC abilities are so much better. They got so much more potential.
You said it in the name. A damage dealing ability's job is to deal damage.
Right. But there's got to be a limit.
Why?
So but
that's what I'm saying. You're saying there's got to be a limit. That's why I'm saying that this is how I said, there's a fixed damage thing to fix the low level thing, which is a separate thing.
Yeah.
But I think they should have percentage based damage on, let's say, the fireball. And it causes a fire proc. So that is your go-to, right, I just want to kill the mob. I'm reloading my gun, 5% damage, on the fireball.
The new meta will become the easiest, best way to maximize the percentage damage. Right.
But no. There's nothing. What? No. It's not. There's nothing affecting that percentage damage. It's a flat thing. The fireball, the frost, the snowball does 5% damage to the mob when it hits it.
Right. So you just hit the mob 20 times with the frost
fireballs. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, that's very energy intensive.
Why is it energy intensive? You could
and cast
easily.
and time intensive. You can't throw those out at the speed at which I could. Right. So what role would I say that then Fireball and Frostball have in that situation? Is that if you ever needed to cause a fire proc on anything for, let's say, working into some melee build, you know that you can go right, bam, and I'll do 5% its health, so it's hurt, and I've got the fire proc and it's off. Or I'm killing a mob with a gun, and it's my gun's really out of ammo. I've got to reload, but I know it's on 5% or less. Bam, throw the Fireball. It's a good executability. Bam, there we go. So because you're doing percentage-based damage, it becomes useful even against a level 10,000 mob. But you're not going to sit there and spam Fireball because it's a cast animation compared to your gun, which does ridiculous damage.
Right. So my point is, if the gun can out damage the Fireball, then what's the point?
As an execute,
right?
There we go. So got to roll.
So the only time that you would use it is when you couldn't do the same amount of damage with the gun.
No. My point was in it's quicker than reloading. Is that then you can just go bang, 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 throw. It weaves the abilities into the weapon play better. Whereas, yeah, you're still right. You could just reload the gun and shoot again, which is going to probably do more damage. But if you were worried that you wouldn't be able to, you want to do the damage before you reload, which is 1-2 seconds. Tap Fireball. Half a second gone, then you could use it. So it does slightly weave in a roll.
If there was a greater chance that the enemy could kill me, right, in that 2-second reload time, that it couldn't kill me at any other point in time, sure. But if I'm worried that the enemy could kill me in that small, tiny window, then I should be worrying that the enemy could kill me at any time.
Yeah, but there'll be... You're thinking of an absolute perfect situation, whereas I'm thinking in the middle of a fight with guns going everywhere. Yeah, it's a high damage enemy, high risk, and you can just get it off if you weave it into your play. It might be a slash dash because you know that slash dash is going to get them killed, and then it'll move you as well. But there's still other enemies you're dealing with. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's if I'm worried about that mob's going to kill me, yeah, I'll hide behind a wall and reload my gun. It's you're kind of missing the point. At the moment, the current implementation, there is literally no use to it. At least with my one, there would be.
Well, this is why I don't play damage dealing Warframes. It's because
I don't think from the game, shall we?
No, I think they should actually change the abilities.
So everything's CC.
Not just CC, but
then what?
Well, it could have status effects or things like that, right?
Right, it does a fire proc on them.
Does the Fireball always do a fire proc? Does it do a fire proc at all?
I've never fire damage, so of course it can.
Well, I mean, it's not like Smite. Oberon's Smite could do what's got a radiation proc. It just does radiation damage.
Well, you can't irradiate mobs with it?
Not with Smite, no. You do that with Reckoning. You throw Renewal on the floor. Sorry,
no, it does. Reckoning. Yeah, Fireball. 100% heat 100% heat status chance on impact. 50% heat status chance in area.
Oh, there you go. So that has CC potential, right? Smite doesn't. No, but the whole point of the flame. So one of the things
I think you've just lined yourself up. You need to now go play 100 games with Ember, CCing mobs with fireballs. Off you go.
Why?
Because you said that's CC.
Okay, fine, I will.
We'll save that for whenever we do another.
But you get my point though, right? Smite does have Smite has 0. Well, the only CC Smite has is it knocks the enemies down, right?
Well, the one enemy it hits. A heat proc is not CC.
It stops them from attacking you. It gets them to flail around.
I don't know how long that lasts though.
I think it's a set time.
Deals a tick of damage every second for 6 seconds after the last fire. And that's the damage. Making them panic, reduce their armor. Doesn't really say. Let's have a look at Oberon's.
I think the panic is set.
Probably 6 seconds, I think. That seems a bit long. But yeah, maybe. Okay.
What?
Smite.
Knocks over the enemy. You can't miss it.
Miss. 35% health plus shields to damage.
35%.
Yeah, it does. Apparently, 35% health plus shields to damage.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
No, let me have a look.
This question's actually getting really long. Can we move on?
Yeah, okay. What is your least favorite mission type?
Mobile defense.
Can you tell what part of a video people hit the like button?
No.
No, it's just you just get likes, and you can't even tell what effect that has in the algorithm either.
No.
Right.
Wasn't there two Zrugal questions? Or were those the two Zrugal questions?
We just had them, yeah.
You didn't actually say that from Zrugal. Right.
Oh.
Bad lols. Right, so community responses from last week.
Trex Paddock, you could have started the 10 o'clock challenge on episode 313. So if you started on 313 and did an episode every day, by the time you finish, it would have been on 352. Well done for working that out, Trex Paddock. It is tempting to write out some of my lore theories regarding the Tenno, however, also a tad daunting. My process, if you will, also incorporates a number of elements that are, because video game, to restrict much of the flow of the actuality in the world. I think I'd like to make videos on it, but had I the skills required to do some justice. My experience with it was once you clean up the shape of some more absolute facts, more bits fall into place. Not like jigsaw puzzle, if you will. My process of late, I've been comparing and contrasting my work to the efforts of the mighty Zale. Trex Paddock, make those videos. I want to see them. And take it from someone who should be making videos and always comes up with terrible excuses. You'll learn by doing them. So just get to make them. Don't not make them.
Another side thing is like if you want to talk about like different video editing techniques and things like that, or if you want input, creative, like fuck, Loz, shot, reverse shot. There he goes. You know, like I had zero issue with shot reverse. I still have zero issue with shot reverse shot, but
it's a good technique, but it's just that's all you
dull.
use.
Like, you know, when you know it works for Supernatural, it works for me. And then
I would be tempted to pick a random episode of Supernatural and we'll sit down and watch it and we'll actually assess when they use shot versus shot and then when you use other shots for the same situation.
Oh, you wouldn't believe how often they use shot reverse shot.
I know, but that's all you used to use.
That's because that's all they used to use.
Well, okay. But I think at the end there was you were going to offer to Trex Paddock that ask you. Was that
yeah. Come talk to me. Also consider looking at channels like Corridor Digital when they talk about like how they set up their camera angles and shit like this.
Cool. Illidrian. Still haven't figured out the YouTube time bar segmentation yet. Yes, we did. It was my fault because I was like, you don't need to put 00 in there. So, you know, what are you talking about? That's silly. It's like, yes, you do need.
Everyone knows where the start is.
Everyone knows where the start is. It's like it needs to know. Majoga, I do miss the old feature, especially since I'm on mobile. They're referring to the cards. I usually answer at the beginning and change answers if necessary while listening to the episode. Link closes my YouTube app and I hit back to go to the episode thinking I'll just do it at the end. But in reality, I just plain forget by then.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. It was a great feature. It was such a great feature. And as you see, it was for mobile. And that
apparently 0.02% of... Hold on. They actually they sent out an email back in May, which I completely missed.
Right.
And they said I think it's 0.02% of it's 0.2% of all channels use the polls.
I've never seen them push it, or
when
you go to the if you went to the creative studio, it would say, hey, would you like me to tell you about polls? Why not use them to interact with your community? Yeah. It's so easy. Let me show you how. It should have popped up and said that. It never did.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It is such a good feature they just dropped. It's a good. I mean, look at this timer one. We figured it out from looking at other videos, and then I had to go find the YouTube thing, which was late from when the feature was implemented.
Yeah.
Moving on, Nazeth. As to relay destruction, it's literally impossible now. They put Fomorians and Razorbacks on a timer, so they will always expire before they actually destroy a relay, because they realized that there just weren't enough people doing them anymore. See, that's part of the problem, is that unless if it came to the fact, if we were down to one relay and it'd be like, DE's like, you can have no more Barrow, because you don't need them for syndicates anymore. I suppose you need them for Clem's mission, but you know, people would try, and then if DE went, oh well, You can blow them up, and then even if a group of people said, "Oh, well, we're going to let this one blow up and see what happens," it's like with no relays, and Dia went, "Yeah, fine, do it, just blow up all the relays. No more Barrow until you build another one." And they actually put in a mechanism for us to rebuild it naturally in game. People will be like, "Oh, they're that serious? They will just let Barrow not turn up? Well, we better defend the relays then." And people would, but they just they built a castle for once.
Yeah,
they smashed it themselves.
Yeah.
Moving on. The Captain Pack Zone. I did want to point out, though, that one of the things Lod said in the very first episode was... I did admit. I believe Warframe players to be entitled in the sense that they want everything immediately, and I just had to... that was what I said. And so, Captain Pack Zone. And I just had to chuckle to myself how some things never change. Yep, so true. We should, at some point, I'd love to do a video where we play the first episode of 10 o'clock and we react to it.
Sure. As long as we do it in the reaction format like in the Corridor Digital do for their VFX artists react to.
Is that when they sit on a couch? And...
Yeah.
We could do that, yeah. Obviously after lockdown.
I
think maybe for a year.
We could do it like separate, right? But the whole point is it's edited down to the interesting parts. It's not the whole episode.
Oh no, of course. No, yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you ever watched EFAP, Every Frame of Pause?
No. I know of it though, yes.
They literally, and that's because they can have like a 5-minute video, and it takes them 2 hours to get through it.
Actually, should we make that a card? Should we ask the people like what would they like?
Which format would you like? EFAP, Every Frame of Pause, or Corridor Digital cut down? I mean, the episode's only like 45 minutes anyway, and I'm sure some of it we'll just have to let play anyway. So I don't know how long we'd chat about it, but it'd be interesting. Maybe we could do that when we get to 365 to the year of 10 o'clock. There you go. Yes, you can watch it episode. Yeah. Also, I quite like the powers and finisher on tougher enemies if I need to reload off the kill because I use that mod that insta reloads after a mercy kill. That sounds pretty cool. I don't think I've got that one. I might have to look for it. JJ24 also says, I'm saddened. Xeno did not say he would repeatedly drink root beer with his rewind Protea powers.
What did I say?
Can't remember. I never remember since the episode finished. Just take out a brain, dump it bin, move on.
So for everyone else's benefit, we typically do this around 11 p.m. on a Friday night.
At this time, yeah.
Yeah.
And get better at this. When we get guests, we'll be good because we'll...
Yeah, but when we have guests, we can actually be a bit more flexible because I'll be bringing it to you on a USB stick, won't I?
Oh, no, yeah, there's that. But I mean that also it's also... We could start this earlier, but but both of us, I think we've laxed on our to the point. We must be ready for the guest kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And when we get guests back again, it's like, the guests must be here, 2 in the morning or something. Right, well, I better be ready for 2 in the morning. Can't leave the guests ready. So, we'll get back to that, though. Right, so there we go. That's it for those. Let us move on to the topic. I'm getting the thing up to right time in.
Are you all right? It sounds like you're having a bit of a brain aneurysm. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Standard for me.
So the topic for this week is mission objectives should probably pause when in the Granum Void.
Oh.
What?
I didn't know they did. What's that for?
No. They should. That's mission.
Oh, that's right. I mean, I didn't know they did. Yeah, okay. Sorry, you keep going then. And
It seems to align law and gameplay wise that the outside world would effectively freeze. This would also make it playable with types like survival, where you otherwise run the risk of running out of oxygen for the mission. But survival is otherwise probably the best mission type to do a Granum Void run in, since it's endless. Defense has similar issues. Okay. No.
It's a Reddit topic. And there's not any more description. Right, okay.
No. Okay, so first off, survival is not the best thing to do this for. Capture is.
Yeah, why would you go to a mission where there's a separate... Because they can't stop the timer, because it'd be too abusable.
No. Not just that. Not everyone has to go into the Grand and Void.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why it'd be
Right.
abusable, because...
Yeah, okay, yes, lore-wise, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, actually, no. Because the time travel thing wasn't due to the Grand Void, was it? The time travel thing was due to Protea, right?
Yeah.
And Protea's not in the Grand Void anymore. So no, it doesn't make sense. I like the direction they were going in, don't get me wrong, right? But I think actually DE has answered the reason why you can't do it anymore is because Protea is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So she's not able to rewind.
Oh, sorry. Hang on, we forgot. Is it on consoles now? If I'm checked.
No, it's not.
Spoilers!
Why?
Sorry.
We're not talking about the actual, what happens during the quest. Oh shit, no, we did.
Protea.
Quick, rewind!
You might want to put like a
minus
thing
spoiler
at the start of the video. Yeah.
Minus spoiler.
Minus spoiler. Yeah. So, sorry. So this topic actually is to do with the Deadlock Protocol quest. So sorry, any console players. I'm sure Xeno will come up with some clever method of maybe in the title say just to let people know. So in case you're holding out.
Should
for
I
it.
edit it?
No, on console. If you want, I don't know how much time that would take or whatever. But no, just I think if you just put something, can you edit it when it's uploaded and just put like a picture?
Tell you what, we'll put it in the tracker bar thingy.
Yeah? And the title as well, maybe.
Minor spoilers.
We can always edit the title later. I think maybe put it in the title.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So people.
So.
Right. So yes. Spoiler. Protea was the one in the void.
We won't go into huge detail about the quest. The quest is.
No, but that's why there's not. So then that's why.
Yeah.
If a player after the quest entered the Grand and Void,
to time travel shit doesn't do shit.
Yeah. It's just you're just in the void at that point.
Now, I don't think you can do the gauntlets in survival more than once.
No, I've not tested that. I know you can capture it because the hand turns.
Should we call forth the power of Discord?
Call forth. No, that's not what it is. Let's be fair. Said right.
Web of influence?
Cast out the web of influence far and wide, and see what knowledge can be brought forth from the extremities of the web. Let all the points gather upon you, and provide information to the spider at the center.
You're right there. Yeah.
There must be one out there who
knows. You're channeling your inner Shakespeare or some shit. Can anyone tell me if you can do the?
I have to because
multiple.
D&D isn't a thing anymore because they've made the orcs less racist because the orcs are apparently racist.
What?
No, they're not. What do you know? D&D orcs are racist.
Why?
Well, because reasons. They're not. They're not anymore. They fixed them.
So they're not orcs anymore. So they're not green anymore.
I think they're still green, but
Oh, whatever.
That's not.
Okay. Grand Void multiple times while in survival. So we'll see what people say. What else are we? I'm sorry. Like a lot of missions, the best. I don't. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake! This is. Should you be able to do everything? Should there be equality? Equality.
No. It's no. It should be able to. Because I remember when they were pitching this before we even saw the quest. They were saying about, and they saw about the thing. It was like they said that some players go in, some players stay out, and that was kind of part of it. However, you can just go to capture, and then some of the starting tiles just have the hand there.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Plug coin in, do mode, come out, go capture thing.
So we've got someone from the Discord who is replying. This is taking more than 2 seconds, so this is going to be a speech. Please don't be a speech. Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no. Oh, come on! Right, okay. While that's still happening. So the question is, should this have the same treatment as void fishers? Right? So in survival, in defense, you can do multiple relics in a run. You don't do one relic, then leave, equip another relic, then go back in, so on and so forth, right? Which is what you do with a Void Fisher capture, yeah? Because there's only one capture target. So my question, they didn't actually respond at all. Okay. So my question is, should survival and things have the same treatment? Now, if we don't have, I see a part of me wants to say no, because at least not now, because that means you would have to have multiple treasurers in the endless mission type, which means that you could stock.
Not potentially. What you could make it is that people could stock up their coins to do multiple runs and then bring, let's say, 50 coins into survival.
You know that the player base is going to kick off the second you say you have to do 15 captures to stockpile your treasury coins before you can run a single survival. You know that they want to do it as efficiently as possible and have
yeah. That's why I think that it only lets you do one run in. It must only let you do one run in survival.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got any coins that tested on me right now, but I'm pretty sure it does, because that way it's just like, well, that's just how you have to run it. You have to do 15 runs or whatever, get 15 coins to do 15 runs. That's it. Yeah, you're right. If they sort of enabled it to do an endless sort of... But also, no, doesn't it... I'm pretty sure it gives you all 3 rewards, because there's 3 tiers of rewards you can get, and if you get up to them, you get the A, the B, and the C.
Yes, so if you get to 150, you get A, B,
If you
C.
let people do that in survival, when would the hand reset? Every 5 minutes or instantly?
Surely it'd have to be every 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah, if you wanted to have that sort of system. But then you just have players spending 5 minutes in there, and then would players outside also benefit from the rewards of the players inside?
But then interception would be by far the best way to do it, because an interception round
is 3 minutes. Roughly.
Is 3 minutes plus the in-between time plus the initial
sub
capture
4
time.
minutes.
So yeah,
sub 4 minutes.
So around 4 minutes. So that's the fastest way to do it. Most stressful way to do it as well. And you know, like you just burned through those. A large part of me is like, oh, actually, no, you can't do it on interception because that tile doesn't have a hand.
Yeah, you're right.
So it has to be survival.
Survival would have to be, yeah.
So defense doesn't have it, and interception doesn't have it. So survival's the only tile that has the hand.
Right, so you do it every 5 minutes or whatever. I think it's crazy, because then also, if a player was inside, right, and the player was staying outside to secure the life support, do they get the rewards?
No, they don't. They don't.
So you'd go into survival missions and you'd have players just abusing your run. You're just trying to survive to do the mission or try and get 40 minutes or whatever. And you got some players who aren't just AFK, they're off doing their own little thing in the void while you're preparing the game so they can just go out, every 5 minutes, out in. That's just no. I don't think you can. I think it's one run, one use per run.
A large part of me is now saying that the hands should not be there in survival.
Yeah, just knock them out of survival. You got a good point. Just start them turned around on survival.
Because it's... Could you make it work in survival?
What do you mean, make it work?
Well, is there something you could do to make survival facilitate what this person's saying without it being the meta to do it?
Could make them drop life support in there, but the problem being there is if that becomes more efficient than staying out, you just get people staying in there to provide infinite life support. So what you'd have to do then is you'd have to kick it out, make it kick you out of there once you get to either a certain score or a certain time in there. Because otherwise people would stay in there. Or in fact, you'd have some people staying in and some people staying out to provide maximum life support from kills. So no, I think maybe just knock it out for survival. See, when they said this, I thought maybe they were talking about mobile defense or something.
But mobile defense works.
Yeah, no, they're saying no, I meant that the mobile defense timer pauses while you're in there.
No, but
I don't know why, or guess capture targets also wouldn't run away.
The thing with the mobile defense thing is you'd have to go initiate it first.
Yeah.
So if you go initiate it and then you choose to go into the Granum Void, well, sorry, that's on your hard fault, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the survival starts without your choice, realistically.
Yeah. There's also I'm just trying to think of other mission types where there would be something that could pause or be paused or that would be time limited. And anything else I can think of is mobile defense if somebody starts the thing and runs off into the void, and also capture targets if somebody just goes into the capture target and then runs off into the void and the capture target reaches their escape vehicle.
Yeah, but that's a lot of... You'd have to go find the capture target first, alert them, and
then find a hand. Yeah. Also, the other thing, actually, I just thought another one. Yeah, exactly. The other thing I could think of is sabotage missions. If you started the timer on some of the methods of blowing up the reactor, and it says you got 5 minutes left, and then you went and did the void, like stopping that. But
doesn't that room get locked down while you're? No, it doesn't.
You could find a hand though. It does, to the exit. On the way to the exit, you can find a hand. But all these
you don't even know where the exit is until you've finished it.
Yeah. But all these points, just go do your Granum Void. Just don't stick a coin in and do Granum Void on safer missions. Just do capture. I've seen tiles, I'm pretty sure, where you load in as a hand there.
Yeah. There are some.
If it's not there, it's a couple of tiles away. It's not hard to find them.
Okay.
And just do captures. I just think this is, yeah. I know that survival still drains and post-sabotage timers still continue, but do enemies still attack defense pods? I could have sworn I saw a bunch of corpus pause when I was exiting the void a few times. That's probably just their AI being like, target realigned, there you are, attack,
I thought the defense tile didn't have the hand.
Maybe it has side... It does. A defense map normally just load a few side tiles, just endpoints. I don't know if one of them can be a hand. Sometimes they do.
Okay.
Because just certain some of that, I think.
Okay.
The law sense for why it would pause objectives no longer applies. Protea was the one keeping it paused. Now that she's either dead or escaped, the Granum Void is no longer time wonky. It's just another part of the void. Now we go back to... You're right. And last one is, there is an easier solution. Just let people who didn't enter get the reward. So you can split up, not like either party needs more than one person. Doesn't solve it for solo play, though. No, it's just a big can of worms.
No, because then you have Mesa players just completely decimate and just never leave and rack up insane scores while everyone else is doing the work. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've done the work to get the 3 rewards, but no, I'm really against that. It's what?
Here's somebody saying same. This is about the pausing thing. Sorry, they've replied to it. The corpus outside just freaking paused in space time. The defense pods somehow didn't get harmed, and the corpus were just waiting in their positions without moving for me to go out of the Granum Void. Maybe it does. Maybe you spawn. Maybe the defense tile. There's the defense tile itself. Maybe some of the intro tiles can hand the hand on it or something.
Don't know. But you'd have to start the defense mission because there's a 3-minute timer before it'll actually start by itself. So,
but you could start.
The enemies don't spawn until you start the mission anyway.
Yeah, but you could. What could have happened is they load the defense tile, the hand's there, they get in there, they do it for 2 minutes 50 seconds, so 3 minutes 10 seconds. So enemies have started spawning, but not long enough for them to attack the defense tile yet, the defense of the cryopod. And so then they warp out of Granum Void, and then the mobs are there going, "Oh well, you're a threat." I don't know, but yeah, we'll have to look into that. Either way, though, I just think survival is the only one where it affects, and just no. That's it for replies, though.
Cool. I don't know how to feel about this. A large part of me is just like, don't do it in endless missions. Just do it in, because like, even though it's supposed to be a side objective, it feels too much like, no, this is the real objective. You know?
Yeah.
The player mentality is not on board with this whole, oh no, this is just a secondary side thing. But you can't do it as a, oh, while I'm here, I'll just do this. You have to do it as a, no, this is why I'm here. Like, this is why I've come to this location. So, yeah. But I think the whole reason why they went down, I'm not saying that DE did the bad call doing it this route. I think the whole reason why they went this route is because otherwise players won't do it. You know, if it's too secondary, then players won't bother. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the topic. Where's the off button? There's the off button. Right, and now we're going to mosey on to the memes.
Okay, let me just write it down at the time. Right, so memes. I'll go by the file rather than my buttons because I'm not sure I've moved them around. Memes. Right.
Okay.
So meme number 1. Let me put that there. See both. Right, yes. Love them bubbles. Chroma with maxed out Vex armor. Fucking car. I think it's a Corsa. Look at that car. A single corpus nullifier.
Oh, I love this.
That cat is like, take down the car.
So, like, I'm not 100% sure I understand the meaning behind this, because I get the impression the message of the meme, as weird as it is that the cat is holding back the car.
Yeah, the car went through the barriers and whatever, and it's broken the concrete, but the cat stopped it. Like, poof.
Right. Okay.
I know the cat actually hasn't in real life before that car crashed, and that cat just walked up to it and is leaning on it or something. But the car, it kind of looks like that the tiny cat has stopped the car.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a single corpus nullifier would clear the buffs of Chroma and be like, no, the unstoppable killing machine has been stopped. Yeah.
No. So the whole point I was trying to make out was I wasn't quite sure if the message of this meme was what you just said, or the thing's destroying everything, but it's stopped for this. It has chosen to stop as opposed to it is being stopped by.
That car does not look like it has chosen to stop there.
Well, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure what the car is on top of to perch it in such a...
That's a concrete bollard. You can see on the bit that's broken in front of it, the black and white, and then the concrete, and then the steel beams reinforcing inside the concrete that are holding those two bits in front together.
I can't see it that well because it's quite a lot smaller for me. But,
okay.
Fuck it. Should I just actually open it up on my... Go into Dropbox. Go into Dropbox. Go into Dropbox. Go into Dropbox. So where is our folder? There's our folder. Memes. There's the first one. You just open up in the photo thingy. Okay, this is tiny. Let me zoom it in. Oh. I don't know. I still don't know what they've hit.
It's concrete. They've obviously hit some sort of concrete divider, and then it's gone off the road up onto a grass. You come on. The black and white is a sort of, that's common for some sort of concrete bollard protecting or stopping traffic or something.
Yeah, just like the striped thing underneath as well.
Yeah,
that looks like the vertical bollard.
You see it's broken, over. That one there, and you can see just a bit of the steel bits that would hold internally concrete.
Cool, right, should we move on to the next one?
Yes, the next one. No comment. That's what it's called. He's just so cute.
What?
Do you know what that is?
I know of popcorn, right? Popcorn. I know of popcorn only because it came up during the last Arbiters, right? It like, where the fuck did the name come from?
Oh, there's a Warframe wiki on this. Let me get it. I'll explain to you.
It was some guy just randomly tweeted them saying like,
June 10th, Warframe's official Twitter tweeted a preview of the Master Jackal. A user named Corpus Bonds asked if they could adopt the Noah and name it Popcorn, but Play Warframe replied that it may be too late for Popcorn.
Yeah.
Shortly afterward, Play Warframe tweeted again with the tag #SavePopcorn, which became quickly popular across the community. The remastered Master Jackal and Popcorn were added in update 2.28 on June on the same hotfix 0.01. Added Popcorn to Iron Wake next to Clem's Blunt Fort.
Yep.
There you go.
Sorry.
And for anyone who wants to know, 297789 for degenerates. Moving on to number 3. You got number 3?
Those numbers confuse me.
That is good that they confuse you.
No, it's fine. Next, 3.
You innocent person. Watching this game improve over the years has its bittersweet moment. The new Corpus ship tile set is awesome. This is me, by the way. This is totally me. We will never run the missions in the old ship tile set, the one some of us have spent years on, ever again. Like, it's awesome. Totally awesome.
So you're putting on a front?
Yeah, so it's put on a front.
Okay.
But then secretly, I'm like, I want it back. I was wondering, isn't Chains of Harrow? Doesn't that have some? I wonder if they've gone back and changed the quests. If not, some of the old quests might still use that tile set.
Not sure, but one thing I would really like is, I've said this to a few people. Basically, you have the old tile set until you do the Vox Solaris quest on Fortuna, but you cannot go to Mercury. You can't continue the star chart until you do Vox Solaris on
I would totally with you, and I think that'd been awesome if they did that, because then it makes sense, because spoiler, the opening of the Protea quest says about the refurbishing of the fleet.
Yeah.
Which should make so much sense. However, sadly, and I don't mean, I know I keep bringing up, but this is the D strategy of look at all these things we're making. Must be together, cannot be separate. The reason for it is the redone of the Jackal.
Well,
so you'd be able to fight the old Jackal, and they don't want that.
It's not just that. Well, maybe you can't. Maybe you have to. No, I don't. Well, I mean, they could lock off that side, because that side of. Oh no, because Fortuna's actually off on the side, isn't it?
Also, Venus is like the first tile set, and Rhino's the first Warframe, and so they want people to still. It's like, come on, rite of passage, first Warframe to farm for and get access to. Locking that off till you did the Vox Solaris quest, time consuming.
Well, no, it's like you can't do the Mars Junction until you've gone through Cetus, and originally you had to do the Sire's Vigil quest before you could actually go and do Mars. But anyway, yeah, should we continue on?
Yeah, still sad. We're still so sad though for missing tile set. Is the key point, aren't we?
Sure. Number spaceship. Number 4.
I know we've had a few of these at the one, but this one again, if there's something special, these like liches stealing stuff. I have to bring it up. Okay, so finally, I got my last So the Protean or optics, everyone's moaning about, stolen by the Lich. And then I don't know what anime this one is. Should I put these on you? Yeah. And then you go.
What's the anime?
I'm trying to see. I don't know.
Okay, we'll find out later. Number 6.
No. Well, I want to point out, because I remember from one Warframe meme, it was Charlotte, the anime I picked up from a Warframe meme. So I always want to figure out what these are now, because that was a great anime. Number
6.
5.
5.
5.
Okay.
5. You wouldn't. Them. Why do you want to kill Lotus? Me, who loves spamming captures and fishes. Wouldn't get it. Change of plans. Ignore your original objective, is what it says there on the Lotus bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I
I'm with them.
I
Oh,
get
I'm
that.
with them. Even though I like
I
that.
get
I'm
that.
with them.
I get
Yeah.
that.
And then lastly, number 6. Thanks, Unico. Black woman calls you sugar. Okay. Old white man calls you son. Oh. Southern woman calls you honey. British woman calls you love. Oh. Robo woman calls you Sparky.
Udico is spelled with an E. It's EU.
Xeno gets the meme. Xeno ignores the meme to comment on being on a ground policing.
Yep. No, yeah, okay. I mean, no, to be fair though, I'd much rather it be Udico than some of the other characters with their 3-year-long dialogue to just tell me one small thing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say colourful accents.
Oh yeah, there's that one too. Right, so that's it for... Oh, I try to forget that one entirely.
Let's go to the community shoutout.
Fucking terminology and all that shit. Right, so going on to the community shoutouts. So our first community shoutout needed memes again. Our first community shoutout is this gorgeous Oberon by Gene. I saw this and like I was gonna have something else for this was just like that's awesome.
What's that done in? The style. It almost looks like
It looks like an oil painting.
No.
It does.
No, it looks like it's done in chalk.
Hold on.
Like looking at the white bits on the head, the way they're done, almost like they were chalked and then finger brushed.
No, that does look more like an oil painting to me.
Right, maybe I don't know.
Maybe acrylics.
Though, to be honest, looking at the wavy thing at the bottom, it's probably done on a computer, but still amazing.
Yeah.
Or maybe hand drawn, then computer improved, but still really nice. I can see you having a wall scroll of that. That would make a lovely wall scroll.
No. Number 2.
No.
Number 2 is this incredible Anairos by Pathos. This was just incredible and insane and amazing and all the other adjectives that... Is it adjectives? Describing words?
Yes.
Yeah. That begin with a vowel.
Makes me want to go play it. Love that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So good and Anubis. Great. Yep.
Right. Then number 3 is this. I wish we had this kind of Loki in Warframe.
It reminds me, somebody used to did a whole suite of proto Warframes, this sort of style, and it's like, yeah. I mean, I suppose you can almost see the Guyver-ness of this. You know what I mean, the Guyver feel of it, the harshness of it, and not to be critical, but I feel Warframe has been stepping away from that sort of feel, into other things which are equally good. But I'd love something to give you this because you can almost, it's so cold and calculating and mechanical in an alien way.
I mean, one thing I absolutely love about the status quo that we've gone with the designs for Warframes now is that they do feel really abstract again. Whereas, you know, we had so many where we had Mesa that looked like a gunslinger. We had Limbo that looked like a magician. We had...
Okay, I'm not a fan of Protea's default helm for that reason. Because it just looks like somebody wearing a veil.
I do get behind what you're saying, but at the same time, like, it's not the entirety of Protea, right?
No,
it's not.
I swapped the alt helmet and I'm fine with it. You know,
like the whole reason why I wouldn't play Limbo for the longest time is because I hated that huge, solid black mass.
What do you have now? Do you have a Tenno Gen one or?
I actually use the deluxe
Tricorn
one. No,
oh,
I do have the tricorn helmet, sorry, hat, but then I have the deluxe skin because it's like, "Arr, I be a ghost pirate." Because he has the 2 peg legs.
So
he's got the 2 peg legs.
Top Hat's Xeno and Gunslinger's Xeno. No, playing a space
ghost pirate,
cyborg ghost pirate. A-okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this Loki. Amazing.
Yeah,
that is
and this
beautiful.
is done by. I think this is supposed to be Werelectro, so it's kind of hard to tell.
I'd love to see them do Biomoda stuff for Bear because that's the same sort of
All right, moving on to the fourth community shout-out.
I want to say it's visceral, but I don't really know.
Okay, so moving on to the fourth community shout-out, which is this operator reference sheet by Cole Rudge? Not entirely sure how you pronounce your last name. And I saw this and I thought this is awesome.
Oh, I'd love gauntlets.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, and to make a melee weapon or something. They were going to have operator melee at some point, and they just like, no, can't have that.
Well, I think it's because
you don't
the
want
community...
it?
No, I think the community just turned around and just like, oh, we hate the Plains of Eidolon. It's like, well, yeah, you can come back now.
Yeah.
It's fine, you can come back now, right?
Yeah.
The fifth community shout out. I was there. I was whinging about the sheer quantity of crap on Plains of Eidolon. Right.
Yeah.
The fifth community shout out is Titania and Oberon by 7 Inc. I think that's how you pronounce the name. So saw these two. I think we might have had this before, but in a different incarnation. Okay, fine. No. So yeah,
that's awesome. I love it on so many levels. It's so cool.
Yeah. And then
is it on the voting part of the for fans by fans? Is it? Oh, sorry. It says on the tweet. It's finally finished. Take it a while. Did also considering rating it. If you go here, for fans by. Oh, so that's on for fans by fans. So if you guys like that, because I think that's really cool, and that's the kind of thing I wouldn't mind on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want that specifically, but like that kind of style of thing. It's not got big Warframe, but it's kind of subtle, but still cool in a unique way.
And then the last community shout out. Nope, that's Loz's video. Last community shout out is it's the coffin, the corpus coffin thing. It's the 7th community shout out, and I accidentally press 7 instead of 6.
Why is it the 7th? You've done it in the past.
Yeah, exactly. It was the 7th one in the past.
From the past. So that's why. Okay, sorry.
Right. So the 6th community shout out is this Necros operator by Silvery. I don't know how you pronounce this name, but this is another for fans by fans. Yeah. And I really like this one.
This is still nice. I wouldn't see the thing as I wouldn't vote on this one because I think it's fine with just the Necros and the operator. I think the Warframe it's just too much on top of it. I think it is a nice picture though.
I would have been fine with the Necros and the Warframe. No, Necros and the logo for Warframe.
The logo. Do you know? I would actually like the logo. I think it's the attachments. I would love that logo bigger and behind Necros, like subtle and behind. So Necros is.
Yeah. I can get behind that. Right. So
in fact, the Necros, the operator, and then the Warframe logo behind, because they could all be doing a triangle thing upwards. But I'd like Warframe. I just think it's too much. I love subtle things. This is why I mean, Anthem help their hat really cool. Just that. Let's say Anthem down one side or something, but it's just so good, high quality. I can take this off and I'm gonna put it up.
Do you know what? One thing I really, really regret before starting this episode.
Pushing record.
No, leaving my fan in my bedroom.
Oh.
I'm getting really hot here.
Right, well, let's finish up then. Let's have your quote and you can go get your fan or go to bed.
Right, well, no, I'm done. I'm awake now. I'm going to watch anime. Good old anime. What am I going to not watch? Quote, that was it. That's what I was going to do.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready, good sir? This is called a Warframe. It's a humanoid weapon system created by the Orican Archimedeans. Your cradle was designed to interface with this type of body. Your genetic code activated it. The instinctive fighting technique you use is Solstice Nata, a lost combat art for the Warframe bodies. It was used by the Tenno. This is why you're drawn to conflict without hesitation. It's part of your training. You're not just a warrior, Hayden. You're a Tenno. And the most advanced organic weapon ever created. And that is exactly why I will never unite you with this Warframe.
I thought it was. It's not Guyver. It's not Alita. Or is it Alita?
It is Alita.
Alita. Yes, I was like, okay, I was like, oh, we had the technology. I thought maybe Alita. And then at the end, I thought it wasn't. But then actually, I realized no, because the Doctor didn't want to combine her with the
Berserker
for the
armor.
body, the Berserker armor. Yeah. Do you know the there's a push to get Alita 2, and like it's gotten to the point they even crowdfunded getting like billboards in America, or a billboard.
Really?
Like, yeah, people really want Alita 2, and they're not sure if it happened, but like people really want it, and I think it could do well, because the first film, people were like, "What is this?" Ooh.
Yeah.
And now people are aware of it, and I think people would go see it. I think people definitely would see it.
I think because like I picked up the manga and I read up to.
I think a lot more people have done that now. Yeah,
I picked up, and I got to the end of the first arc, which is so like basically what we had as a movie was only like the 2 first volumes of the manga, right? And there's like 19 volumes.
Yeah,
you know. So,
I know it does get very weird, and I think by the end it goes a bit way off. And
not too bad.
You know,
not too bad.
How far did you get?
It's the end of the first arc.
I don't know what it is.
It's
but
like halfway.
I remember reading a wiki and something about going off to some other side of the solar system to have a fighting championship or something.
I think that's the second arc. I've not actually done that.
Seems to get a bit weird or whatever. But to be honest, I think that what they had was good. But has that, because you've seen the anime as well, which again is just basically the film.
See, the weird thing was that I watched the anime. This is random anime time with Xeno and Loz. One of the I was not drawn to the anime at all. I knew I had watched it, but I couldn't remember a single thing about it prior to watching the movie, right? And I was like, why can't I remember this? I know I've watched it, right? And then, I have a simple rule of thumb, which is if I don't remember it, it's probably because I thought it was crap, right? So, anything I didn't enjoy, I just forget about. All I know is I have experienced it. And I watched it again, and I was just like, holy shit, yeah, this is crap. The live action movie is so much better.
Yeah. And then apparently, obviously, the manga is better than both, which apparently is pretty impressive. But I think the anime...
Actually, I would argue that the live action movie brings it more in line with a 21st, an early 2010s mindset sort of thing. You read the manga and it's just there's so much sort of fluff and random crap, and it's just it
streamlines the process.
It really streamlines the process.
But then at the same time, I think the fluff and world building is kind of great because they've set up such a great world. And I would say that the anime did a few good jobs that the film didn't in some of the portrayals of some of the environments.
Yeah,
that you just feel them better in the anime, whereas it's hard. CG is great and all, but sometimes you look at CG and blah, you don't appreciate it or whatever. Yeah. So happens. But I think they're all good, and I'd love to see a sequel. But anyway, so your quote was Alita. That was great.
Yeah.
And let's close up for this episode, and we shall see you for next week.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll have guests again?
When?
Oh, we're no longer partners now. Yeah. We'll have guests again when we're partners again. If we're partners again.
I don't know. It depends entirely on when we can start meeting up and handing over the episode.
When hell freezes over.
Not quite.